days of summer are fading. September rolls on, but for now, autumn remains on the back burner. And tonight, we've got your ticket for Major League Baseball as the Atlanta Braves are in town for Game 2 of a 3-game series with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hi again, everybody. I'm Tim Nevers. Steve Blass joins me shortly. Great win yesterday on Labor Day for the Pirates, 3-1 over the Braves in Game 1. Good pitching from Brian Burris. The bullpen did a nice job. And Neil Walker continued his clutch hitting. But today is about the September call-ups as the Pirates have called in some reinforcements. Brian Bass, Steven Jackson, Brad Lincoln, and Justin Thomas all working out of the Pirate bullpen now. And as far as position players go, shortstop Pedro Siriaco, will get a look at him at some point. Jason Jaramillo is back. So is Brandon Moss, the MVP of the Indianapolis Indians. And newcomer Alex Presley gets to look at the big leagues for the first time. And Steve joins us now. And with all these guys coming in, what do they hope to accomplish here in September?
I think with limited opportunities, they want to do something to make the Pittsburgh Pirates remember their name. As simple as that. And it's just a matter of how many at-bats, how many innings they get. But they want to leave here when the season is over. Hey, I remember that guy. He did a good job in September. We'll take a look at him in spring training.
Pirates right now playing a role in the National League East playoff picture. Look where the Braves and Phillies are. Just a half game separates those two teams.
Yeah, and keep in mind, the rest of the month, there's only 24 games left for the Braves. They've got 6 more with the Phillies, 3 at home, 3 on the road. It's been a tough trip for the Atlanta Braves on the road.
Pirates have a tough guy to face tonight in Tim Hudson. James McDonald going for the Buccos.
Hudson is one of the best. McDonald has been very good here at PNC Park.
So it's McDonald and Hudson, the pitching matchup, as the Pirates get set to take on the Braves in Game 2 of this 3-game set. Pittsburgh's own Neil Walker keeps on hitting the baseball. He's one of the hottest in the majors right now. It's the Bucks and Braves coming up from PNC Park next on FSN.
Is brought to you by PNC. PNC, for the achiever in us all. By Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com. Definitely worth a click. And by your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward.
Welcome back to PNC Park. The Braves and the Pirates. Pirates looking for 2 in a row against the Bravos here tonight. With Steve Blass, I'm Tim Netlick. James McDonald getting set to deliver the first pitch to the second baseman, Omar Infante, and we'll get underway. That one is a little bit high for ball one. 86 degrees at game time tonight on a day that started out a little cool this morning, but really heated up. It was into the lower 90s and 86 at game time.
Speaking of the lower 90s, 92 on that fastball from James.
And we'll see him there predominantly throughout his tenure tonight. Breeze blowing out to left.
Ooh, good sign for the hitters.
And Infante lines one to left field and starts the game with a single. Bobby Cox, the manager of the Braves, sends his lineup to the field like this. Infante, just saw him with a base hit. The rookie Jason Hayward bats second. Martin Prado, one of the leading hitters in the league. Brian McCann fourth. Eric Lee, Melky Cabrera, followed by Alex Gonzalez. He leads all major league shortstop with 21 home runs. Rick Ankiel batting eighth and playing center field. And the pitcher Tim Hudson bats ninth.
James McDonald getting ready to deliver to Hayward, making his 7th Pirate start. You got the range on that one.
Pedro wants it, and Alvarez has it. One away.
Well, the numbers for James, his 7th start, as we said, as a Pirate, he's done good work in this ballpark. 4 starts, or it'll be the 4th start. The first 3 were quite good. One of the interesting things about James is that his control has been exceptional. The previous 6 starts, he had a 5-walk start, but other than that, no more than 2. So control, a little bit of a weapon for James.
McDonald facing Martin Prado. Prado leads baseball with 58 multi-hit games. And the guy right behind him is a very good hitter in his own right, Ichiro, with 57 for the Mariners. So Martin Prado's in pretty good company when it comes to the numbers he's been putting up this year.
The number I like, he's hit into 12 double plays.
Maybe lucky 13 coming.
The Braves, interesting season for the Atlanta Braves, and Bobby Cox making his last tour through Pittsburgh in uniform. They have the best home run, or the best home record in all of baseball, 49-19. Not nearly as good on the road.
10 under par on the road at 30-40.
Didn't do much offensively yesterday for their manager, just pushing across 1 run on a sacrifice fly after they really had the table set up in the 2nd inning against Brian Burris. He did the job, held them to 1 run, and then just ran the table. Did a terrific job.
Ball and a strike to Prado. And got him on the inside corner, 1-2.
I talked to Bobby this afternoon, got in the ballpark. I bought him a $10 cigar. I said, that's the highest I can go. I played before free agency. But I said, isn't it something? Every time you're in a pennant race in September, you run into pitchers that you have no idea about, like a Brian Burris. And he went off on a list of about 3 or 4 other guys that have shut the Atlanta Braves down. He said, yeah, you never know. That's the intriguing part of the ballgame. No guarantees.
That one pretty close there, but missed 2-2. Well, the thing about Burris yesterday is he stuck with the game plan. He and pitching coach Ray Searage had a plan to pitch inside, and he lived inside through the 6 innings he was in the ball game, and it was very effective. 1 out, 1 on. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Well, it'll wait as McDonald goes to first, and getting back is Omar Infante. Infante has stolen 6 bases in 10 attempts.
So he is vulnerable to good action between the pitcher and catcher, throwing the ball to second base.
Two poke foul. Well, Prado starts the night 4th in the National League in batting average at .313, 2nd in hits with 164. And Brian Burris had a very good day yesterday.
Yeah, you can live with giving up 1 run in 6 innings. This level.
The emergency start. Jeff Karstens, not known when his next start will be. He's had some shoulder and arm fatigue.
Well, we're talking about guys that are getting an opportunity in September. Brian Burris, not a call-up in this group that we heard about today. But again, the goal is to have the Pirates remember your name. Well, they remember their name if you do something good, and they're going to remember Brian Burris's name, and he should earn him another start. I mean, why wouldn't it? And you have yourself a good September, they'll remember you in March.
Prado loops one to left field. Here's Tabata. That's out number 2. And retreating all the way to first base is Infante. Some of the action from Brian Burris yesterday as the left-hander got the better of a number of the Braves.
Good curveball, another good curveball, good fastball. John Russell coming out and saying, hey, you're out here. I didn't come out to get you. You get him out. And that's the final out of his afternoon, and it was a dandy. Great job. Acknowledged by his pitching coach.
And when John Russell came out, and you expect when you see game after game, day after day, it's kind of the pattern where he will send Ray Searage out for the first conversation. He'll come out to make the change. But when he came out, I initially thought change, and then he didn't ask for the ball when he got to the mound.
Well, you got to assume it because it's probably only 4th or 5th time he's done that. You know, usually when he comes out, you're gone, as it is with most managers.
Brian McCann, the catcher, takes high for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, there's nothing that makes a pitcher out there struggling to stay in there and stay eligible for a win or get that final out so your hitters might be able to pick you up as they did yesterday with Walker's home run. Makes you feel like $1 million when your manager pats you on the back and say, hey, you're in there. Go get him. Get him out. Good changeup by James. He is known for that. Came over with a reputation of having a very, very good above average off speed pitch and had Brian way out in front.
McDonald makes his 4th start at PNC Park as a Pirate. 2-1 here in those 4 starts. 1-2 pitch. And McCann hits this one high and deep. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is foul.
And very, very anxious hang time. The ball's up in the air a long time.
I think the wind knocked it down some. As that looked like it was way gone off the bat and then ended up drifting into foul territory as he hooked it. James probably doesn't want to put the ball right there again.
No. That'll work, though.
This time it's a broken bat pop-up. Garrett Jones will make the catch. And that's it. Leadoff single stranded. We're through half an inning. No score. The Bucks coming to bat. Pirates, Andrew McCutchen leads off. Jose Tabata in the second spot. Last 10 home games, hitting an even 400. A double, a triple, a home run. 4 runs batted in. Neil Walker's been red hot too. Garrett Jones, Pedro Alvarez, Ryan Doman. Cedeno bats 7th, Snyder 8th, and the pitcher James McDonald bats 9th, facing right-hander Tim Hudson.
Well, where do you start with Tim Hudson? Currently, his record stands at 15-6, 2.30 ERA. That's among the leaders in Major League Baseball. He's just very, very good, and he's been good a long time. 163 wins, 84 losses, almost twice as many. 5-3 against the Pirates in 9 career starts. He lost last time out, but that broke a 6-game winning streak. This guy's good. A lot of great years with Oakland before coming over to be an Atlanta Brave, including a 20-win season.
Andrew McCutchen takes a strike. 274 is his average. 13 home runs, all of them solo shots. 44 runs batted in. It's outside 1-1. Hudson 6'1", 175, born in Columbus, Georgia, but grew up in Alabama.
12th Major League season, drafted in 1997 by Oakland. Not a first rounder, 6th round. Came over to the Braves after the 04 season.
I'll give you 2 guesses who he's rooting for in this week's Alabama-Penn State football game.
Gee whiz.
Penn State. He's an Auburn guy.
Okay.
He went to Auburn and was there for 2 years, was an outstanding player. And I say player. He wasn't just a pitcher when he was at Auburn. 3-1 pitch. Now it's a full count at 3-2.
2008 came up with some arm issues, had the Tommy John surgery, missed most of 8, well, practically all of 09, but he is back. He is really back.
Payoff pitch toward the middle. Infante with a nifty backhanded play, and bang bang at first, retires McCutchen, 1 down. Good play by Omar Infante behind Tim Hudson. Melky Cabrera in left, Rick Ankiel in center, Jason Hare the rookie in right. Prado's at third, Gonzalez the shortstop, good pickup from Toronto. And Brian McCann behind the plate completes the battery with Tim Hudson.
Maybe to give you a perspective about Hudson. 28 starts before tonight, 23 quality starts out of the 28.
It's a good percentage.
Everybody loves to use that word. I want to be more consistent. I want to be consistent. I mean, you hear it all the time. Well, look at that word in the dictionary, and you might see Tim Hudson's picture.
Inside to Jose. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Pirates left fielder. Jose hitting .310 to start the night. And Hudson's 1-1. Tap foul, 1-2. Well, I talked about him being a player in college. His senior year at Auburn, Tim Hudson played in all 65 games that the Tigers had. And on the days that he didn't pitch, he was an outfielder. He actually led the team in hitting.
Well, he's hitting well this year, 14 for 65. That's over 200.
4-0 in August, National League Pitcher of the Month. Tabata lines it foul and out of play. And he hit .396 with 18 home runs and 95 runs batted in his senior year in 65 games.
And take a look at him. Isn't it great that the Atlanta Braves are kind of known for having pitchers that might not be dominating, and huge people like Maddox wasn't very big, Glavine wasn't very big. This guy's 6'1", $175. Great example for young players, young pitchers especially, that you don't have to be 6'6". It ain't all bad if you're 6'6", but you can get it done at 6'1", $175. This guy makes a pretty decent buck at it.
He's figured it out. 1-2 to Tabata. Just foul.
Is that Roger McDowell, our buddy? He used to be with the New York Mets. I saw him in the clubhouse, but
guess he doesn't want to be seen.
Yep. Said hello to him. He is a character. Now he's pretty reserved, very professional now, but he could do some stuff on the field. He's a character.
Tabata is out, and with 2 down, Neil Walker will come up. Walker had a clutch home run yesterday in the 6th inning. 2-run shot, made it a 3-1 score. And that's how the game would end. He's got a 13-game hitting streak. The last Pirate to have a 13-game hitting streak, Andrew McCutchen, last year. Facing Tim Hudson. To the second baseman, Infante. And the Pirates gone in order in the bottom half of the first. No score after 1 at PNC Park. They put the statue up, they realized there was a little bit more available, and you can have a commemorative leaf. $150 for the smaller ones, $500 for the bigger ones. To reserve your spot, 1-877-MAZ-1960. 1-877-MAZ-1960. They are going fast. There are still a few available, and you can get yours by acting quickly. And quickly, Derek Lee grounds out to Neil Walker. Quickly, there is one away in the Braves half of the second.
Well, we finally got Derek Lee to hit the ball solidly. Yesterday, he had a couple of flares that dropped in for base hits. Hit this ball right on the button, but right at Neil Walker. That must be the secret to getting Derek out.
Derek celebrated his 35th birthday yesterday here at the ballpark with a 3-1 loss.
So he joins Mr. Tim Hudson at that age level.
Melky Cabrera, switch hitter, batting left-handed against the right-hander McDonald. Takes a fastball strike that's in there at 91. McDonald ready to go. The 0-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Cabrera. A little low. Trying to get him to chase that one low and in, 1-2. McDonald's last start Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley Field. And well, Cabrera got out of the way of that one.
Well, it was 78 miles an hour. That's one of the reasons. But there's nothing else that you can say that's good about this pitch.
It looked like a spiked curveball. Did you see the grip?
Yeah.
Count goes to full now at 3-2. Well, you go back to
just so we don't confuse anybody. That's like the knuckle curve, the spike curve, similar. I think it's a similar pitch.
Ground ball to second, backhanded by Walker, and he throws him out 2 away.
Is he done there?
See a lot of guys throwing that pitch today. Take a look at the AGH injury update brought to you by our friends at Allegheny General Hospital. Ross Ohlendorf and Jeff Clement both will miss the remainder of the season, put on the 60-day disabled list, and that opened up a couple of roster spots. Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Alex Gonzalez, again, leading all major league shortstops with 21 homers. There's Ross in uniform in the dugout. Saw Jeff Clement in street clothes earlier today. There's not as much room to sit in the dugout.
Well, I tell you, Ross got featured in a pretty bad looking do. This guy's making a good buck. He can do something better with the hair.
Looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Well, that's Ross. He's working hard. Probably got messy hair running around.
I'd trade him right now.
2-1. Up in the air. Gonzalez popped it up left side.
There's that good changeup again.
Cedeno puts it away for the out. 3 in a row set down in the top half of the second by James McDonald. May 21st, 2010. This year, Tim Hudson here at PNC Park pitched 8 shutout innings and twirled a 3-hitter against the Pirates. That's our PNC achievement for the achiever in us all. Hudson had the Pirates frustrated that night. Right now, a scoreless game, bottom of the second inning. Garrett Jones facing him. Pirates looking to solve him. Trying to win 2 in a row over Atlanta. Atlanta's in a tough spot right now. They'll be keeping an eye on the scoreboard. Philadelphia and Florida playing in Philly tonight. Top of the second, no score there. But just a half game separates the Phillies and the Braves for the National League Eastern Division lead.
Talking before the ball game about the Phillies and Braves going to match up 6 times in the next 24. 3 in Philadelphia, 3 in Atlanta. Some action there.
And Jones out on strikes as Hudson painted that inside corner.
Just like he did on the previous pitch. See McCann's target. See the baseball. See the ball hit the target. See the strikeout call. That's the way it works when it's working good.
Pedro Alvarez, .233 hitter. He'll take a strike on the inside part of the plate.
Hudson will be around 89 to 91. I mean, not dazzling, certainly plenty good enough for the fastball, but the way he throws it, where he throws it, and when he chooses to throw it. When just as important as where. Tight little slider.
Gets a lot of ground ball outs, you'll notice. 3 of the 4 outs so far in the game have been ground ball outs.
Nothing in the air yet, and just a dozen home runs, so that's a little indicator also.
Throw a good cutter, good sinker. 2 strikes now on Pedro. Alvarez with 11 home runs. That's good for 3rd among all rookies in the National League. 11 home runs since the 16th of June. That was when he made his big league debut. That split grip. This one is going to be an easy play for Derek Lee. 2 down.
Nothing easier than that one.
Tim Hudson, 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
He's a 20-game winner in 2000, 20-6 with a 4.14 ERA. First year with Oakland, 11 wins, then 20, then 18, 15, 16, 12, 14, 13, 16, 11. You get the idea? 163 of them.
And another guy who returned from Tommy John surgery. Had that in August of 08. It's been just about 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years. Actually, I beg your pardon, it's almost 2 years to the. No, 2 years and a month. That was right the first time. It's been about 2 years and a month since he had it. And he has come back very strong.
But do you think the Braves felt like the surgery was successful? Right after it, they gave him a 3-year deal.
Got a good report from the surgeon.
Yeah, well, the surgeon's got a pretty good reputation. Dr. Andrews does.
2-0 to Domet, 2 down, bottom of the 2nd inning. And Domet hits one sharply to the shortstop, Gonzalez. And the Pirates going in order for the 2nd straight inning. 3 up and 3 down. On to the 3rd when we come back.
AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day.
Nice night here at the ballpark. No score yet. Top of the 3rd inning. Rick Ankiel will lead off against James McDonald. Big cut and a miss for strike 1.
How do you beat Tim Hudson? Well, you outpitch him. Basically, that's what you're going to have to do. You don't really figure to put up a lot of offensive numbers against him. James drops that ball in there nicely. 75 miles an hour. That's a nice contrast. Most of the time when you want to beat the big guys, you got to outpitch them.
0-2. And Keel takes high. And Keel started the year with Kansas City after performing for the Cardinals for a number of years. 1-2. Now it's even 2-2.
What a story for this young man who is a phenom left-hand starting pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. All kind of control problems. Went out to the outfield, proved he could hit in the big leagues.
And he goes down on strikes looking.
First one for James.
A good start to the top half of the third inning. This day in history from Day Automotive, September 7th, 1982. Jason Thompson hit his 30th home run of the year, becoming the 8th player to hit 30 or more home runs in a season in each league. Thompson hit 31 home runs for the Tigers in 1977, thanks to our friends at Day Automotive. Foul ball from Tim Hudson's bat.
Another way you can beat Tim: tire him out, make him run the bases, but not too far around. Just make him do this. Hit some short foul balls, make him run to first base.
He's got a .215 average, 14 hits and 65 at bats. And the 0-1 drops in for a strike.
But can he steal a base for you? I mean, that's, you want to be well rounded.
You want everything.
Yeah, you want to be that 5-tool player.
And he strikes out. 2 strikeouts to start the third. Hudson, the foul tip into the glove of Domit. Now back to the top of the order at Omar Infante.
Nicely done, following the slow curve with a high fastball. Too much temptation for Tim. Comes down empty.
This inning looks like the way he debuted. When you remember that night on the
everybody out.
5th of August against Colorado. Struck out each of the first 4 batters he faced, and 6 of the first 7. Just scattered 4 hits over 6 innings of work that night.
They were scoreless innings with 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. Pretty impressive debut.
He became the first Bucco starter to allow no runs and strike out at least 8 in his first game with the Pirates since 1907, when Nick Maddox tossed a shutout and struck out 11 in his debut.
Not Greg, Nick.
No, Nick. That was against the Cardinals.
We told you, coming over from the Dodgers, he was rated as having the best changeup and the best control in the Dodger system before becoming a Pittsburgh Pirate.
2-1 to Infante. Now Infante in front, 3 balls and a strike. Omar had a base hit in the first inning. And then McDonald proceeded to get 3 fly balls right in a row. Hayward, Prado, and McCann. That's ball 4, and Infante aboard for the second time. Let's go back to the 5th of August. Colorado Rockies in town. And James McDonald. There's a whiff. And another. And another. A lot more. I think you see the pattern. He was absolutely outstanding as he worked 6 innings.
How about that, book?
Break out a career high 8 in that ball game. So good job from McDonald, hoping to repeat the feat here tonight. Jason Hayward takes a fastball strike at 92.
Talking to Bobby Cox about this young man, and also Freeman, another youngster. Bobby Cox is just as high on his potential for a great future as a major league hitter.
There goes Infante. Pitches high for a ball. Throw down. He's gone. Gunned down by Chris Snyder. And that's it for the Braves. We're through 2.5 innings at PNC Park. Still scoreless. Score, bottom of the third. Tim Hudson into the wind, and the pitch to Cedeno is in there for a strike call.
Ironically, the two principals in that caught stealing play. Shut down the top of the third.
Here comes the 0-1. Outside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cedeno, 249, 6 home runs. Still trying to match last year's career high home run number of 10. Third baseman Martin Prado throws him out, 1 away. 7 straight set down by Hudson to start the game.
James McDonald gets the ball to Chris Snyder. Snyder gets the ball to Ronnie Cedeno. Pirates nice clean caught stealing 2-6.
Well, you see where he took that look down. He was expecting perhaps some contact from the plate.
See the tag applied.
Snyder against Hudson.
Now there is a full lineup sheet. The whole Sioux Nation here.
Some options on the bench now. You see that one on the left-handed side at the bottom. Brandon Moss. He had a terrific year in AAA. Was told he needed to go there and work on some things. Prado throws out Snyder. 2 down. So these were the roster moves as these arms were called up from AAA. Brian Bass, Steven Jackson, Brad Lincoln, and Justin Thomas all have had time in the big leagues this year. And from the position players, Jason Jaramillo comes back. Siriaco, who was acquired with Snyder from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Brandon Moss back in a Pirate uniform. And Alex Presley in a big league uniform for the very first time tonight.
That's not a typo. That's not Elvis. That's Alex. But Brandon Moss, 32 home runs, 96 RBIs.
And Presley earned his way up. He wasn't really a guy who was on anybody's radar as being a top prospect, but he was in low A at one point last year. Not low A, but high A last year, I beg your pardon, and then continued to hit. In fact, he led all minor leaguers this year with 166 hits in the Pittsburgh system.
How much grief do you think he took coming through up the school systems with the last name of Presley?
He was caught in a trap. And McDonald down on strikes. 9-pitch inning for Tim Hudson. He's gone through the order without giving up a base runner. Altoona begins the playoffs tomorrow against Harrisburg. They were the Eastern League's Western Division champions. And Bradenton starts tonight against the Stone Crabs of Charlotte. In Bradenton, they'll open game one at McKechnie Field. 37-31, second half champs, and they won the Florida State League South Division. And in that game with Charlotte, no score, top of the third at McKechnie Field. Pretty good view, huh?
Yeah.
That's some camera. It's almost like he's watching TV. Top half of the fourth, and Hayward left at the altar when Infante was caught stealing. He takes a strike.
What a great hook. Talking about the pitch.
Here's looking at you. 1-1 now to Hayward.
Well, I'll tell you, James McDonald just threw one of the real good curveballs I've seen this year. Straight downer.
Line drive to right. Falls in. And a base hit for Hayward. Leadoff single for the Braves here in the fourth. Bring up Martin Prado. So Hayward now 1 for 2. See where Philadelphia is winning right now. 1-0, top of the third inning. That game certainly is important to Atlanta. Boston up on Tampa Bay. Yankees trailing.
They might be keeping track of this game, wouldn't you think?
I would think. I would know. Prado to the gap in left center field and deep on the run. McCutcheon. Oh, he tracked it down.
That's speed. Speed kills those line drives. Well, they used to say that hit the ball in that area. Willie Mays used to go get it. That's where triples go to die. That ball's got 2 bases written all over it, and Andrew simply outruns the baseball. Measures it nicely. That's nice looking play. Real nice looking play.
McCutcheon can fly. 1 out, 1 on.
It's a circle around that one, and James McDonald very happy about that, because that would have introduced all kind of chaos, and you can't have any chaos with the way Tim Hudson's throwing the ball. James has got to match with zeros, and he's got to run that zero streak as far down the road as he can.
Brian McCann, 5-time All-Star. In fact, he was the All-Star Game MVP this year in Anaheim. Throw to first, and Hayward back.
Hayward will go, but he's like Infante. He doesn't succeed every time. 15 attempts, been safe 9 times, have been thrown out 6. So if you do your job, you got a decent chance of getting it. That is, if he goes.
Ball and a strike now to Brian McCann. .267 in the first half of the season. The home runs and RBIs were there, but the average has gone up in the second. Jose Tabata circling around this one. And Hayward's going to give it a try. And he is out. Jose Tabata guns down Hayward, trying to stretch it for an extra base. And Tabata, a rifle shot to second. Team still scoreless. Strong arm retiring Jason Hayward, tagging from first base on the play, trying to get the second.
And you can see the warning track right in back of him. Neil Walker comes around with a tag. 7-2. No, you're not safe. You're out.
Top of the order up for the Pirates in the bottom of the fourth. McCutchen takes a strike. Third outfield assist for Tabata for the team. They're 27th.
Got a whole lot of pitching going on. Just a couple of base hits. They are both owned by the Braves.
McCutchen to the left side. Gonzalez, nice backhanded play, and he retires McCutchen.
Another look. That's another nice looking play.
See, he gets behind it in a position to make a throw just in case.
Yeah.
Hayward figuring, okay, I can give this one a shot. Saw Ronnie Cedeno saying, come on, get that ball in. He knew he was going to run. Here is Tabata now with one out. 10 in a row now for Tim Hudson.
He is at this point on the top of his game.
Ball and a strike to Jose. Tabata grounded back to Hudson in the first inning.
Well, you mentioned he only gave the Pirates 3 hits in 8 shutout innings. His previous start against the Bucks this year.
One and two now. Tabata's hit safely in each of his last 9 home games. 14 out of 32 over that time, hitting .438.
You can steal these kind of games with really good pitching. The Pirates got that yesterday.
Ground ball to the right side. Derek Lee will feed Tim Hudson covering. 2 down in the fourth.
Now, was there just 4 hits for the Pirates yesterday? I mean, they were very efficient.
They were very efficient. That's all they needed.
Yep, 4 hits, 3 runs. The 2-run shot was big.
You can follow the Pirates on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phone with MLB.com at Bat 2010. Featuring play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. For all this and more, visit Pirates.com today on your iPhone, iPod Touch, Android, or BlackBerry. Here's Neil Walker. 2 men out. Bottom of the fourth. Just ground balls and strikeouts. That's what Tim Hudson has been inducing. He struck out James McDonald. He struck out Garrett Jones. Both looking. Every other out recorded has been on a ground ball. Two balls, no strikes to Walker.
Little birdie told me that Neil's dad, Tom, might be a little bit under the weather. Hope everything's okay, Tom.
Walker swings, hits this one to deep left. Backpedaling in front of the track is Cabrera for the out. First fly ball out of the ball game. We wish Neil's dad good health. The first player inducted into the Hall of Fame after playing for the Braves. Does it have to be the Atlanta Braves? Could be Milwaukee or Boston. No score as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Derek Lee leads off. He'll be followed by Melky Cabrera and Alex Gonzalez. 1-0 pitch. So that's what I thought of when I saw that question. I said it's not an Atlanta Brave. It's got to be a Boston Brave, and probably somebody who was in the very first Hall of Fame class.
There's my guess right there.
You wrote it down. I see. Named a candy bar after him?
That guy? My guess is Babe Ruth.
2-1. Line to left center. Over his top to make a fine sliding grab.
That's what you need. You need this kind of stuff if you want to beat Tim Hudson tonight.
Great catch.
McDonald getting good stuff from his defense. This ball heading for the gap. Is it going over?
Great work by Tabata on the AGH cam. It's tearing up the turf. Oh, great shot. Melky Cabrera with 1 out.
Does he have to get down on the ground? I don't know, but it looked very nice.
Make sure he's getting all the grass out of there. Won't get him out of those pants for a while, though. It's a pretty good stain.
2-stroke penalty for disrupting the fairway.
Did he replace his divot? Did you notice?
No. Really need to if you want to be invited back.
Breaking ball in for a strike. 1-2.
I love the McDonald curveball. Love it.
It's a knee buckler.
Yep. It's the old straight down Uncle Charlie yacker.
2-2 to Cabrera. Cabrera grounded out to Neil Walker in the 2nd inning. 25-year-old James McDonald, 6'4" and 203, out of Long Beach, California.
All legs. That's a long-legged young man.
Fouled off.
He's dealing tonight. Tim Hudson.
Follow etiquette? Yes, he did. Look at that. Had some help from McCutcheon. See, these guys have been on the golf course before.
That's why the caddy gets such a good tip. Now let's need a little something extra in Andrew's envelope.
There's etiquette in the outfield also.
Isn't that a movie? No, there's angels in here.
Angels in here. 2-2. And fouled away again. Now I would defer the movie titles to you. I know you're a big movie buff.
Well, if you're a Robert Duvall fan, go see Get Low. He does a terrific job. That's the movie's going to get some nominations. Saw it the other day.
Again, the 2-2. He's fouled back. They'll do it again.
Get low is a kind of a southern expression for when you pass away. You get low. He puts you in the box and puts you in the ground. Duvall is terrific. And that'll do it for tonight's movie review.
You got a thumbs up on that one?
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. That's a full count to Cabrera. McDonald went to Long Beach Poly High School, which is known for its litany of athletes that have gone on to play in the pros in many sports, including baseball. And there's one down the line. That's going to be a fair ball. Cut off by Tabata. Around first and into second with a double will be Melky Cabrera. First extra base hit of the game.
Yep, and Jose having a little problem getting a handle on that ball. So Cabrera comfortably into second. There is the hit, and there is the problem with the handle.
Tried to step on it. Why Watch his foot here, Steve. He tries to put the brakes on it right here. Missed.
Boy, don't step on that thing. You can roll an ankle over in a minute and have some serious issues. The proper way of doing that is throw your glove at it.
That's the proper way. I hate to see the improper way. The Braves have their first man in scoring position, one down. Alex Gonzalez behind in the count now, 0-1.
I think every movie ever made involving some comedy about baseball, there's a glove throwing the ball. Every one.
To center field, drifting over toward right center is McCutcheon. Cabrera looks like he wants to tag. Here he comes, and the throw cut off, and safely at third base is Melky Cabrera. Gonzalez flying out to center for the second out of the inning. Saturday, September 25th, the Bucs take on the Astros at 7:05, and after the game, one of America's favorite pop jam bands, OAR, will be taking the PNC Park stage for the final post-game concert of the 2010 season. They'll be playing all their hits, including This Town, Love and Memories, and Shattered. The tickets to see OAR after the Pirates play the Astros on September 25th. Visit Pirates.com. Pirates will walk Rick Ankiel to get to the pitcher Hudson with 2 down.
And that's why it was such a big out to get Gonzalez. That gives you a second out. It affords you to have this kind of strategy working for you to get to the pitcher. Yeah, he's a good hitting pitcher, but he's a pitcher trying to hit. And you like your chances more with him than against Rick Ankiel. Every once in a while it backfires, but this is the proper thing to do.
You mentioned Babe Ruth. Ankiel has something in common with Babe Ruth.
Pitching and hitting?
Pitching and hitting is Babe Ruth and Rick Ankiel. The only two guys to have at least 10 wins as pitchers and at least 50 home runs as players.
There would be a former Brave that's in that category, Mr. Warren Spahn.
3 hits through 4 2/3 tonight. 2 strikeouts, nothing across, and trying to keep it that way here in the 5th.
The zeros are the big thing, and this is key. You don't want to go up to Infante hitting 339, Hayward 283, Prado 313, McCann 281. You don't want to go there until the next inning.
I want to note that Tim Hudson, he struck out swinging in the 3rd. That's a strike, 1-1.
Well, here's where you go to the whip. This is the guy, because there's not much wiggle room in this game. This simply isn't with the way things are going, the pitching on the other side. So this is the man you must get. And this is why you don't want the designated hitter. It lets you have the ebb and flow of some strategy involved instead of just rocket and socket.
Got him to pop up. Neil Walker make the catch, and that does it for the Braves. In the top half of the 5th, they strand 2. Jones, Alvarez, and Doman due up for the Pirates. the first player inducted into the Hall of Fame after playing for the Braves. Was it indeed Babe Ruth?
Sure it was.
And the answer is Babe Ruth, 1935.
Notice how quick this was written down, Tim? How quick this was.
That was lightning quick. And the lead on the pencil was just going all over the place. With the AGH cam on the lead on the pencil, it would have looked like an explosion on the paper.
Yep.
One ball, no strikes, and Jones rips it into right field, a base hit. And up until that moment, Tim Hudson had been perfect. Leadoff single for the Bucks in the 5th.
Ball gets away, but Garrett does the right thing. Well, you got on the other side of the perfect game and the no-hitter with one swing. Now let's do something about the shutout.
Garrett Jones from Tinley Park, Illinois, playing his first full season in the major league.
Mr. Pedro Alvarez from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, saying, well, he's enjoying his first half season.
Pedro Alvarez out of Vanderbilt. And the pitch.
What did Keith Jackson used to say? 245 pounds from Jackson, Alabama. Alabama.
Oh, Nelly. You know, he used to have a lot of people ask him, you know, how Nelly was.
Oh,
they all thought Nelly was his wife. That's not true. Just an expression.
Alabama.
One ball, one strike. That's the count. Nobody out. Jones at first. Middle infield looks for two. And back of the bag and over toward the hole is Prado at third. Ground ball to short. Gonzalez to Infante. Double play. And that is something that Tim Hudson excels in, is inducing double play ground balls. Barrel Automotive league leader stat. He has induced 29 ground ball double plays. Waldo Jimenez of the Rockies next. Roy Halladay of the Phillies third. Pretty good group of pitchers right there. Barrel Automotive, definitely worth the click at barrel.com.
They say there's not too many 450-foot ground balls. That's why they pitch downstairs. Well, the Braves are working hard here in a scoreless game. The Philadelphia Phillies are down 3-1 to the Fish of South Florida.
Scoreboard watching season. Watching it in the National League West as well, although those teams aren't underway yet. San Francisco playing at Arizona tonight. Los Angeles is in San Diego. Colorado hosting Cincinnati. Bowman, a line shot to left center and a base hit.
Swinging the hot bat.
Bowman's been getting it done with the stick lately. He's now reached base safely in 12 straight games, 14 of his last 50.
He's doing it mostly from that side of home plate as a left-hand batter. Still a righty under 200, but fast approaching and possibly already there at 300 as a left-hand batter.
And John Russell's challenge is to keep his bat in the lineup, so he'll go back and forth between right field and catcher when he's catching. Now there are even more options to put out there in right field. Hastings Millage, a right-handed hitter. John Bowker, a left-handed hitter. You got Brandon Moss now. Also a left-handed hitter.
Make a move each inning.
If you wanted to. First and Doman back.
Ryan's not going anywhere.
There is Brandon Moss. A nice chat with Brandon today. He's extremely thrilled. In fact, he thought he was driving home to Georgia last night after their game with Louisville in Indianapolis. 0-1. Pitch missed. 1 ball, 1 strike, and it was getting late. He was literally almost out the door, and AAA manager Frank Kremlis came up to him and said, "Is your wife here?" He said, "Why?" He said, "Well, you guys driving back to Georgia?" He said, "Yeah, we're leaving." "Why? What's up?" He said,
"Take a left."
He said, "Skip, I'm in a hurry, so you know what's going on here?" And he goes, "Well, you're going to the big leagues. You got to go to Pittsburgh right now." He goes, "No, quit kidding around." He goes, "No, seriously, you better get to Pittsburgh tonight." And so he drove last night, got in about 11:30, and said that this ballpark was a sight for sore eyes when he arrived.
Now, I wonder if Doman might go here because it's a running kind of account. Not much of a lead, not a high percentage of him going. And he doesn't. The reason I said that is 2 outs, not much happening. And Tim Hudson not dealing a lot of strikeouts, pitching to contact. You never know when you might push in this type of a ball game. There's not going to be much scoring. At least there hasn't been any to this point.
Doman off of first base. 2 outs and a 2-2 count to Cedeno. Now it's full, and Doman will run with the pitch. Daniel's been racking up a bunch of doubles lately. A string of 5 straight games with a double snapped yesterday. There goes Doman, and this one on the ground to the right side. Infante from the outfield grass throws out Cedeno. Pirates are done in the 5th. 2 hits, and they strand 1 against Tim Hudson.
Caught stealing 2-6. What, you don't believe me? There's the tag right there. Nicely done. Snyder to Cedeno. And that's tonight's Freeze Can, brought to you by Coors Light, the most refreshing beer in the world. We paraphrase. Or whatever we do.
Or the world's most refreshing beer, one or the other.
You get the idea. It's cold and it's good.
Rocky Mountain spring water. Here's Omar Infante. He'll start the 6th inning as the Braves are back to the top of the order. Braves with 3 hits, Pirates with 2. Nobody with any runs.
couple of right-hand pitchers going at it.
Fonte's got a good batting average at 340. Due to some limitations in playing time this year, he was really going to be. I think he's probably going to come up short in order to qualify for the league leaders. He's 102 at bat short. Oh, diving stop by Alvarez. Great play by Pedro.
That might be as good as we've seen him pick it at third base since he came to the big leagues. That was a rocket. That was the hot corner special. An absolute bullet. The leather around it, and then the rocket across the infield. The ball's hit hard. The ball is thrown hard. That's good stuff.
El Toro strikes with the glove this time.
Couple of circles. Got one for, actually 3 circles. Got one for McCutchen, got one for Tabata, and now got one for Alvarez. And that's what you need. Keep those zeros going. James McDonald, the recipient of some just outstanding defense here.
Hayward ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. First time I saw this kid play in a major league type game was in Orlando in a spring training game. You just had to be very impressed with him. Size and strength. The poise he displayed. You could tell he was farther ahead. And he had one of those high numbers. I think he had a number in the 70s. But on opening day, he had number 22. Oh, that took a bad hop.
Wow, where did that bounce come from?
That was a strange hop off the infield. And Neil Walker, who may have had a chance to play it on a regular hop, but this time no chance. Watch it go. Wow.
No, not only went up, it went to the left towards second base. Hit that seam somewhere, somehow, right as the grass ends and the dirt starts. Well, maybe on the dirt, just maybe had enough English on it to spin it up and out. Might be one of those things we'll never know.
Ground ball with eyes. 1 on and 1 out. Usually Prado takes a strike.
Usually the ball hits the lip, it'll go down, it'll skip, stay down. Expect a high hop and stays under. And believe me, this is a pristine surface.
Nothing in 1, and the pitch inside on the corner for a strike. Tomorrow it is Zach Duke against Derek Lowe in the finale of this series.
Well, the Pirates could really do some damage to the Braves.
0-2 to right field. That's trouble. That'll go into the corner. Hayward rumbling around second, and he is going to get away. Nope, he'll get stopped.
And that's good work by Ryan Doman. He had to do everything perfectly down in the corner. He didn't have to be spectacular, but he had to be a guy that didn't make any mistakes on that ball, on the bounce. Get it back in, no mistakes. If he kicks it around, doesn't get a handle on it, it's a run. Ryan goes over, takes the bounce right there. You'll see it better here, I believe. That's the way you hold the run.
I thought Brian Snitker was going to be queuing up his arm for the windmill, but that wasn't the case. Here's John Russell on to talk. Second game in a row we've seen him do this.
Well, he's had nobody warming up.
One of the things that is very near and dear to all Pirates' hearts, the Clemente Award finalists. Andy LaRoche for the Pirates, Brian McCann for the Braves. It recognizes community service excellence and outstanding skills on the field. All 30 major league teams have nominees, and the voting begins today at Chevy.com/Clemente. The winner will be announced during the World Series, so you can go online at Chevy.com/Clemente, and all of the 30 finalists are there. You can go and check it out. Cast your vote.
And be very proud if you're nominated for that award. And try to set up a double play situation. Kind of dangerous going to Derek Lee with the bases loaded, but that's the kind of situation we are in a scoreless game in the 6th inning. Derek Lee has hit into 18 double plays.
How about McCann?
So you got that going for you, which is nice.
McCann had his ankle pad in one hand and his bat in the other. Stood up there with one hand on the bat for ball 4. Now the bases are full of Braves.
Showtime.
And now it is, as Steve mentioned, showtime for James McDonald. Going to try to get Derek Lee here. 10 grand slams for Lee. 282 with the bases full over the course of his career. Strike 1. Third base, Jason Hayward. Martin Prado at the double to right is at second, and McCann reaching on the intentional walk at first base. Here is Derek Lee.
Well, you're thinking strikeout, you're thinking ground ball.
Strike 2 at the knees. Saw the number, 18 ground ball double plays he's hit into.
Now he's got some options too. He's got the runner at third base, so he can't go too far out of the strike zone. But you would think that they're going to try to get him to chase. Wonder if you're going to see that curveball. Caution light for Chris Snyder. He's got to be ready back at home plate. Can't let anything get by him right here.
0-2, popped up foul.
Was that a good fastball? 93 in on the hands. Peanut butter and jam. Trying to see if we can pick up what Chris Snyder is going to do. He'll tell us a little bit by the way he moves just as James releases the ball.
The 0-2.
Another fastball. Wanted it a little further out than that, but still enough to not let Derek get to it.
Coming after him on the 0-2 pitch.
Right, and you're actually, let's be honest, you're catching Derek Lee at a down time. He's not having the year that he usually has. He's that good a producer. Not that that's any guarantee, because you know he's still capable of.
He is 0 for 2 tonight, hitting .249. McDonald ready, the 0-2.
There's the block they're talking about.
Chris Snyder, very good defensive catcher. Snyder keeping the ball right there, not allowing any movement from the base runners. 1-2 to lead. Hot shot foul.
In front of that off-speed pitch. Still in the driver's seat. Still can really try to make one or two pitches to still make his perfect pitch. Especially this delivery here.
Big pitch from James McDonald. Bases loaded. And a ground ball toward third. Pedro's got it to Walker for one. Double play! What a play as the Bucks go around the horn. Good turn by Walker. And McDonald gets out of it.
Wow. Double, triple wow. Double play wow.
McDonald loves it. And he should. His defense came through.
Baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Meadows Racetrack and Casino.
No score going to the bottom of the 6th inning with Steve Blassack, Tim Neverett. Great ball game here tonight. James McDonald doing some pitching, and he's had some defense behind him.
Boy, he really has. They've done great glove work. He's done his job. Going toe-to-toe with Tim Hudson.
Hudson delivers strike 1 to the catcher, Chris Snyder. Snyder 0 for 1. He grounded to third in the 3rd. Oh, 1 pitch. Now it's 0-2 as he fouls this one way down the left field side.
You get past the 6th inning in these type of ball games, scoreless. So many people think that one swing of the bat can do it. And that, yeah, sure, that's a possibility. A home run, bang, one swing, be a 1-0 game. But I think there's just as many situations where the ball is kicked or is a key single. Sometimes it just doesn't work out to that fantasy kind of thing. Just a strikeout. Let's take a look at the Derek Lee at bat, pitch by pitch, resulting in the great double play. Fastball, strike 1. Right back to it. 0-2 out in front. Jams him. That's a great pitch. A little late. A little low. A little early. A little early again, but the ground ball to Pedro. A high throw to Neil Walker, but he pulls it down and they get it done. McDonald's loving it.
He's loving it at the plate right now. Ahead 1-0. Hudson, 1 out, the pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. You ought to write slogans for Lou.
I've been told that I should look for other work, yeah.
2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, but you know what the guys, what the guys in the truck say doesn't matter.
A part-time summer job.
2-1. Yeah, that's 2-2. I mean, it only matters sometimes. It doesn't matter when they're talking about you.
Hope John Wayner's doing well tonight.
A comebacker off the bat of McDonald. Hudson throws him out. There are 2 away. Well, the big games are right here on FSN. McDonald's high school football kicks off with an early season matchup at the Pit when the Beaver Falls Tigers head to Aliquippa to take on the Quips. It's a showdown between AA rivals Beaver Falls, Aliquippa. Thursday, 7 FSN. This is big. High school football has begun. Quips and Tigers. Pitch to McCutcheon.
Tim, I flew into Pittsburgh on a Friday night one time when I was playing around 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Coming into this area, it was like a bed of football fields with the lights on all over the place. It was just a great image. It's such a big tradition, heritage. High school football Friday nights in Western Pennsylvania.
Even some Thursdays.
Even some Thursdays, yep.
Breaking ball for a strike, 1-2. It's such a good area for high school football. Football in general, I think I know what he's got on his mind for Sunday.
Wish the Steelers all the best in their season opener against the Falcons. Absolutely.
That's down into the corner. McCutcheon's going around first and head for second. And Andrew McCutcheon in with a 2-out double. He's 1 for 3. And that's his 28th double of the season.
So many reasons to like that. You got a man in scoring position. You got a man in scoring position that can fly. You've got 2 outs. You can get an early start on contact. Just rips it down into the corner.
Feet can move. Looks like a thoroughbred on the track.
Oh yeah, when if you put that AGH camera on a thoroughbred, I mean, the rippling muscles, I've seen movies that feature that kind of footage. He's locked into that baseball, isn't he? He knows what the feet are going to do.
And the brakes go on. 1-0 pitch to Tabata. Good time for a hit for Jose here. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Couple of ground balls.
Get on the board. Hey, get on the table. By the way, the name of that movie was The Reavers, a Steve McQueen movie that's got that wonderful racing footage.
So you know all the movies.
I'm a big movie fan. Big movie fan.
One and one the count. McCutcheon off of second base. Look at second by Hudson. Strike 2.
91 miles an hour, but beautifully placed. Right-handed.
Since Tabata was called up on the 9th of June, he is tied for second in hits among National League players with 96. Carlos Gonzalez is the leader in the NL with 107 since that time. 1-2. 2-2.
See what Hudson does there. He got him with a down and in fastball, 91 miles an hour for strike number 2. Then he just comes back in a little further. He is so confident in his control that it almost looks like it might be a purpose pitch. McCann will tell you what is going to be delivered direction-wise here as Tim goes to the stretch. They want it back outside now, and that's where they got it.
Chopper to third, and Martin Prado just flips it over to first base, and Tabata never got down the line. Well, McCutcheon stuck at second after the double. McDonald pitching at Melky Cabrera in the top half of the 7th. Cabrera, Gonzalez, and Ankiel. Cabrera doubled his last time up in the 5th, and then back in the 2nd inning, grounded out to Neil Walker at second base. Waving something out of there.
Well, James has thrown 107, 109. He's been over 100 3 different occasions since joining the Pirates.
1-1 the count. Melky Cabrera. Switch hitting left fielder.
Though the priority is to put up a 0 here. If it could be an efficient 0, you got a chance to go to the 8th inning.
I think McDonald hoping for a much easier inning than last time around.
It needs to be tidy. Yeah, what a job he did working to Derek Lee. And I got a little alarmed with that high feed by Pedro over to Neil Walker, but Neil was able to pull it in.
Late on that pitch, fouling it away, 2-2.
James has walked 3, but only 1 has been the serious walk, 2 intentional walks. So control's been fine.
2-2 to Cabrera. It's 3-2 way inside. Cabrera, former Yankee, acquired a couple of days before Christmas from the Yankees in exchange for pitcher Javier Vasquez and left-hander Boone Logan. Mike Dunn and Arodys Vizcaíno coming the other way along with Cabrera. Comeback.
Yes.
Great reach for McDonald and a nice play, and there's one down.
Take a look at the Jose Tabata. You want to see a pitcher working his craft. Tim Hudson to Tabata. Downstairs, the sinker. Now way inside. And now back out. I mean, that's classic stuff. Nope. Threw a shoe getting out of the box, but he's going to be out anyway. But that's classic. Down and in, and then outside. Just a very workmanlike job by the veteran, 35-year-old Tim Hudson.
Down the right field line and foul ground. And Jones will watch it go into the seats.
I tell you, nothing wrong with James feeling his position. Donald's loving that play too. Reaching back, it's that good wingspan. The rest of it's easy.
1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike to Alex Gonzalez. Gonzalez with the Blue Jays hit .259 with 17 of his 21 home runs. He has 4 home runs with the Braves. Drove in 50 of his 75 runs with the Blue Jays. Popped him up. Garrett Jones calling for it. 2 down.
No, we've got a ball game going on. We've got a serious Major League Baseball game going on.
Scoreless in the top of the 7th. Now Rick Ankiel coming up. And we talked about Ankiel his last time up, having something in common with Babe Ruth. Only 2 players with 10 victories as a pitcher and more than 50 home runs. At least 50 home runs as a hitter. One other thing about Ankiel, you have to go all the way back to 1947 to find out who the last guy was to do it, but had his first home run as a pitcher and his next home run as a position player.
Pretty unique career for Mr. Ankiel.
Foul tip for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I don't know why they would ever give a guy who's had a lot of control problems like Rick did the number 28.
This one's fouled back. You don't like
Yeah,
you don't like him having that number.
No, I've talked to Rick. I've had a lot of empathy for him. I know exactly what he went through. It was not much fun for a baseball player to go through. His control issues.
Yes. He strikes out, and McDonald gets the Braves in order in the top half of the 7th. It is stretch time at PNC Park, still scoreless, and James McDonald setting down Rick Ankiel. out tonight's Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Sixth inning yesterday afternoon. Neil Walker, a 2-run shot, his 10th of the year. And that would be the difference in the ball game as the Pirates would beat the Braves 3-1. That's the Cold Hard Blast, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Leading off against Tim Hudson here in the bottom of the 7th of a scoreless game.
Do it again, Neil. Do it again.
This does look like one of those games where one swing will make the difference.
Activity in the Pirate bullpen.
1-1 now to Walker. Walker sitting on a 13-game hitting streak. James McDonald outstanding tonight. His night is through. He was congratulated in the dugout between innings. Pitched 7 shutout innings. 1-2 now to Walker.
Hudson featuring that cutter there. With cutter is just a real pure slider where fastball grip and you just cut across the ball when you release it. You just cut the fastball. Just give you some pretty good speed and a short, quick break, like right there. It's the old pure slider. Now called a cutter because now what they call a slider is usually a lot bigger break on the ball.
2-2 delivery. And strike 3 is called on Walker, and Walker 0 for 3. Hill was not happy with the call of Darryl Cousins.
Way to go, young man.
He walked
A plus effort.
Had 3 walks, but 2 of them were intentional. He struck out 3.
Evan Meek warming up in the Pirate bullpen.
Jones hits this one well to center field. It is going back. It's off the wall. Around first, heading for second is Jones. He's safe.
And it was almost what you're talking about. Almost one swing of the bat. That ball hit halfway up the padded wall. That close to getting a run.
Career double number 50.
Watch how close this comes. A lot of carry. Pure swing. Drives it to straightaway center field. About a foot and a half away from being the first run of the ball game. Maybe less than that. Pick him up, Pedro. It's got a good ring to it. Pick him up, Pedro.
He's 0 for 2. Grounded out to first and hit into a double play. Fouls that one off a foot.
Well, Hudson is not afraid to crowd these left-hand batters. There are some right-hand pitchers that don't like to come inside to the big guys. Oh, that got him.
Got him on the leg.
Yep, maybe around the knee, just above the knee. Oh, just below the knee. Ouch.
Wow, much higher than I thought originally. That's a tough spot. That will leave a mark.
Yeah, and not much padding.
0-1 the count to Alvarez. Jones at second base. No score. Bottom of the 7th. Good ball game tonight. Pirates trying to take 2 in a row from the Braves. As the Braves peer out at the Clemente wall, they see that Philadelphia has taken a lead over Florida 5-3 in the top half of the 6th inning. Shane Victorino, Ryan Howard, and Raul Ibanez all with home runs in that game for Philadelphia. 27th of the year for Ryan Howard.
The Braves, boy, if they had done anything legitimate on the road, they'd be in good shape, but it's been a struggle. 30-40. You can imagine with that record on the road what they've done at home. 49-19, the best in Major League Baseball.
Now even 2-2 to Pedro. Yeah, they've taken care of business at Turner Field. There's no doubt. They are very tough there. And it's been a great season for the Braves and their fans watching them win that many games at home. in Bobby Cox's final season. They've also built a very good ball club. But Tim Hudson facing Pedro Alvarez with 1 out. Jones in scoring position at second base. Pedro trying to straighten this one out.
The Braves defensively pretty honest as you look around the defensive alignment. Rick Ankiel not particularly deep in center field, and Garrett Jones doesn't have great speed. Cabrera playing quite deep and left. Everybody defensively squared up pretty well.
Alvarez hammers it to right. It is going to the off the wall. Jones will get waved home. Pedro into second base. It is 1-0 Pirates.
Pick him up, Pedro, and he did. A bullet off the FSN sign in right center field. So as was the case with Burris, after he left the ballgame, the Pirates scoring to make him eligible for this win. You're tuned to FSN in right center field. Stay tuned for more.
RBI number 41 for Pedro Alvarez. And the Braves will walk Ryan Domert to set up a force play. Garrett Jones got it started with a 1-out double off the center field wall. Bobby Cox wants to set up a potential double play with Ronnie Cedeno coming up next. Del Toro had a pretty strong reaction here. He certainly should in a ball game like this, driving in the only run so far.
Yep.
Pirates on the board, and Safe Auto Insurance reminds you that you are safe at home with Safe Auto. Proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. Derek O'Flaherty, the left-hander, Peter Moylan, the right-hander, warming up in the Braves' pen. James McDonald now the pitcher of record.
So the script has been written. Pirates would love to get some more, but even if they don't, well, they do. You look to make and hammer him. It's a big secret. But, let's see if we can pile up a little something here.
2 on and 1 out. Outside ball 1. Hudson, relatively speaking tonight, hasn't done a lot of pitching out of the stretch. In fact, he didn't do any until the 5th inning. Jones led it off with a single. Garrett with 2 hits tonight, by the way. Cedeno, bouncer, foul.
Man, would that have been nice.
Third base umpire Marvin Hudson calling it a foul ball.
Correctly so. Not much.
I would say he was in position to make that call. Straddling the line. Cedeno to right center and deep. This one's going to carry to the wall. Here comes Pedro. Domert will be waved home. And into third with a 2-run triple. Ronnie Cedeno. It's 3-0 Pirates.
Cedeno catches the gap. Not only catches the gap, but hits it in such a place that the bounce stays right almost under the padding. There's a little room there, so no help for the Braves outfielders. to get that ball to bounce back toward him. And this ball was sent a long way to the opposite field by the Pirates shortstop. See the bounce right under there. It stays there, helping Domit to score. And that'll be it for Tim Hudson.
Alvarez scoring, and into third base with his second triple of the year is Ronnie Cedeno. He's got the big hit of the ball game, giving the Pirates some insurance here. Tim Hudson is gone, relieved of duty by Bobby Cox, and the Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen has been made. Friday, September 17th at 7:05. All fans receive a Roberto Clemente bronze bust, courtesy of Pirates.com. This collectible is a must-have for all Pirates fans, young and old, and even for Jose Tabata. For tickets, visit Pirates.com. That's his idol.
Clemente Day being celebrated tomorrow. Pirates going to head out. Going to go to school tomorrow. Some of the youngsters and talk about Roberto Clemente and his heritage, his legacy.
Peter Moylan is the new pitcher. Infield drawn in. Pirates have a squeeze on with Chris Snyder at the plate. And it's fouled off.
Here he comes. And you see McCann moving out because when you as a catcher see that, there's many teams and they'll do this, it automatically becomes a pitch out. You try to go up and away and stay away from the bat. But Moylan didn't get it out far enough. If the catcher moves out, you get the pitch out. Obviously not going to make contact if it's far enough out. Catcher gets the ball, come back in, you make the tag.
It's outside for a ball. Moylan from the west side of Australia near Perth.
By the way, just to finish up that Clemente Day, we're going to Pittsburgh King School tomorrow. Youngsters.
Snyder fouls it back. He's got 2 strikes on him. I think the crowd reaction too, Steve, after the squeeze attempt was good because they were appreciating some good baseball and some run manufacturing being attempted.
Yeah, really nothing, not all that much at stake. You certainly want to get this run in, but even if it backfires and blows up in your face, you still got a 3 spot on the board.
A great situation for a squeeze, too, I think, with Cedeno at third. 1-2. Moylan ready to go. The pitch. Strike 3 is called to Snyder. And there are 2 men out. And Delwyn Young will come up and hit for James McDonald. Scott Proctor has now joined Eric O'Flaherty warming up. Proctor, former starter, tossed around.
Go from the Australian to the Irishman.
Yeah. And what they're going to do, Bobby Cox is coming out. He wants to turn the switch hitter, Delwyn Young, around to bat right-handed. So here comes Bobby Cox again. He will relieve Peter Morin, and our Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen has been made again. Backs at 7:05 and stay after the game and watch Zambelli fireworks light up the Pittsburgh skyline from the best ballpark in America. It's also an Eden Park Scratch and Win Saturday where all fans receive a scratch card good for prizes from Eden Park. For more tickets, visit pirates.com. A little bit of fireworks this inning too for the Buccos, as they have had 3 hits. All of them extra base hits. A double by Jones, a double by Alvarez, and a triple by Cedeno. And here is left-hander, former Seattle Mariner, Eric O'Flaherty.
Nothing cheap about any of those extra base hits.
Young batting right hand, pulled this one foul. Well, if you're wondering why Bobby Cox would care which side of the plate Delwyn Young hits from, against right-handed pitching, he hits 233. Against lefties, he hits 300, but he's had 159 at bats hitting left-handed, only 20 hitting right-handed. That's strike 2.
So the final line for James: 7 scoreless innings for James McDonald. 5 hits, 3 walks, 2 of which were issued intentionally, and 3 strikeouts. He was absolutely terrific. And I would guess one of the first things he's going to talk about is his defense tonight. They were great behind him.
Delwyn Young hammers it high and deep to left, way back and gone. DY with a big fly.
Up into the second deck. Pirates found their bats here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Unloading. And that ball was hit a long, long way. That's well over 400 feet. Delwyn Young really runs into one. Wow. Wow.
7th home run of the year, and this one was a blast. His 2nd home run, batting right-handed out of the 7. The other 5 have come from the other side of the plate. 5-0 Pirates. Bottom of the 7th, not done yet. Bases empty. Andrew McCutcheon up.
And I'm submitting that that was by far the longest one, even though he had more as a left-hand hitter. This ball was crushed.
An 0-2 pitch. And considering the swing that he had prior to that,
Yeah, which wasn't a swing. It was a wave.
Yeah.
Wow. Pirates have been so dry as their pinch hitting category. 0 for 28. Well, you talk about snapping it with some authority. Thank you, Mr. Dash. 0 for 28 until that bomb.
McCutcheon fouls off the 3-1, and the count full 3-2.
Check this out. I mean, this ball goes a long way. Not in the short seats, but up in the second deck.
They knew it. He's worked up quite a sweat for one at bat. And McCutcheon drives one to center. And Keel going back. They'll run this one down. But a big inning for the Pirates. They send 8 men to the plate, and 5 of them come in to score.
A lot of very impressive hits involved, and now Evan Meek will come on to try to protect it.
Meek had his first appearance since being drilled by a Ryan Braunline drive in Milwaukee. Pitched yesterday afternoon, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, didn't strike anybody out, didn't give up any runs, which was the most important thing, and also getting him back out there. So now he'll face Eric Hinske, former Bucco, former Ray, former Red Sox, former Yankee, former Blue Jay. Am I missing anybody?
Been around. Bounced out his pinch hitting appearance yesterday.
Hinske hitting in the pitcher spot here, number 9 in the order.
Pittsburgh not his favorite stop as he's made the tour around big league teams, and he verbalized that. Not extremely popular here in the Burgh.
Just to follow on Delwyn Young's home run, the Pirates had a streak where their pinch hitters were 0 for their last 28 until DY went deep. And that was his second pinch hit home run of the year. His first one came on the 6th of June against San Francisco.
That's about as impressive as you're going to get to left center field up in that second deck.
His first major league home run was a pinch hit home run for the Dodgers against Colorado. 0-2 to Hinske. Did he go? No, says third base umpire Marvin Hudson. That's one of those 50-50 calls. Sometimes you're going to get it, sometimes you're not. Probably should have got it. So Hinske catching a little bit of a break. 1-2. That's the count.
Want to crowd him.
Garrett Jones will take it himself, and there's one away. Bob H. from New Middletown, Ohio, is the final prize pack winner of the Make Your Day giveaway. Bob won tickets to a Pirates game, an autographed baseball, and a gift certificate from Day Automotive. Congratulations to all of our winners, and keep watching FSN for your next chance to play. Sign up at FSNinsider.com. Always check that website out.
Starting to rain here.
Skies have opened up. There has been some flashes in the sky, lightning in the area. Top the 8th one out, and the folks heading for cover.
So if that was a fireworks promo, but apparently not.
Omar Infante will take that pitch. 2 balls, no strikes.
Crew chief working home plate, Darryl Cousin. If he sees a lot of lightning, that could prompt a delay, even if it's not raining very hard. They don't like the lightning. And that's what we're seeing.
Down the third, Alvarez blocks it, throws, got him.
That's the beauty of a strong arm, and Pedro's got a gun. Pick him up, Pedro. He picked up Garrett Jones, and now he picks up the ball and gets a big out here in the 8th inning.
Terrific play as he blocked this hot shot.
And that's a good play for a third baseman. You're going to get the ball quickly. You're going to have time because you're not that middle infielder who's back a little further. Good lesson for young third baseman. Get that ball in front, you still might have a chance, especially with that kind of arm.
Jason Hayward takes strike 1. Well, the rain has stopped. Skies opened up briefly, but they have stop sets. Still a little bit of the flashing in the area, though.
Well, the play that Pedro made on Infante in the 6th inning was just great. Another great lesson for young infielders. I don't think Pedro can make that play if he's not thinking that ball is going to be hit to me. Should be a 3-1 play, 4-1 play.
Nice play by Walker.
Yeah.
And Evan Meek getting it done, retiring the side in order. Tabata, Walker, and Jones coming up for the Buccos.
At Aspendeno, Jose Tabata 7-4 for the double play. But wait, there's more Tabata, more good leather work, getting it done in left field. That's tonight's Aspendeno plays that made you smile, brought to you by our friends at Aspendeno. Good stuff. Appreciated by his pitcher too, as it should be.
Jose looking for a hit. Mike Dunn is out there, the left-hander. Become the fourth pitcher used by Bobby Cox tonight. Dunn, former Yankee, came over with Melky Cabrera in the deal for Javier Vasquez last December.
Veteran Pirates fans, you take a look at the Philadelphia scores. The Marlins creep closer. Remember Mike Dunn that pitches for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Won 14 games for the Bucks. Came over in the package that bought Andy Van Slyke, Mike LaValliere, and Mike Dunn over for Tony Pena back in the day, and that was a part of the package that started that run of division championships.
Talbot swings, fouls it away. Here comes the rain again. He's opening up over PNC Park here on the North Shore.
Too. They don't want to see too much of that.
Bottom of the 8th, 5-0 Pirates. Nobody out. And here comes the 1-1. 1-2 to Talbot. Rain coming down a little harder. Manny Lopez, groundskeeper, he was planning on being summoned here any moment.
He's going to be too, because all of a sudden it opened up. And the Lightning, Darrell Cousins going to shut this down.
Talbot strikes out. So there's one out in the Pirate half of the 8th inning. That'll bring up Neil Walker. Maybe. I mean, you just see the pellets of rain.
Yeah, this is raining hard. I mean, all of a sudden. And I thought combined with the Lightning that Darrell might think about getting Manny Lopez and the guys out there.
Pitch fouled away. Darrell Cousins doesn't think the hard stuff's coming down for a while. A little bit wet out there. Everybody heading for cover. Walker takes low. Neil Walker, a 13-game hitting streak on the line right here. And very difficult conditions to function in.
Or the Darth Vader.
Oh, that's the Gortons of Gloucester fishermen right there.
He was always prepared.
2 balls and a strike. And the challenge here is to get a dry baseball to use. And a dry bat handle.
Can't accuse the pitcher of loading one up. Spitball. How do you know the difference?
And when those leather gloves get a little wet, they get a little slick too. Two balls and 1 strike. And Walker fouls it away, 2-2. Just miserable conditions to have to hit a baseball in right now, or throw one for that matter. But the rain seems to be letting up some. But there is still thunder and lightning in the area of PNC Park.
As they say, there's a cell running through.
Walker to center. And he's got more than a single. He'll hit for 2. And Neil Walker has extended his hitting streak to 14 games. And he had to do it in a driving thunderstorm. Double number 26 for Walker.
I'll tell you one thing, that ball hit on the line and just skipped on the moisture. It goes downstairs, and because this ball is low and driven hard, it just takes off as Rick Ankiel goes over. He had an idea, when this ball hits, it's just going to scoot. Doesn't come up high, just takes off.
One out and one on. Here's Garrett Jones. Strike called to Garrett. Garrett 2 for 3, a double and a run scored in the 7th inning.
Darrell Cousins obviously thinking we can get this thing in the barn with the 5 more outs.
Turn the faucet on again, Steve. It's coming down hard again. Swing and a miss. 0-2 is the count now to a very wet Garrett Jones.
Somebody get some wood and nails and start building the ark.
Jones down on strikes, 2 men away. Pedro back up. So they've all moved back under cover. That's crowded as it is in there. All the call-ups today.
Guess who gets the best seating? I think the guys that have been around all year.
Guys who have been here. They're counting up the service time when they decided who was going to be sitting against the wall. Delwyn Young with the pinch hit home run in the 7th, scoring Ronnie Cedeno. Blasted an 0-2 pitch to the second deck in left field. Strike 2 to Alvarez. They're swinging in the rain here tonight. Pedro fouls it back. That's some high quality H2O out there. High quantity of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, whatever it is, there's a lot of it. Man, he's probably wondering, Darryl, what are you waiting for?
And the Bats crew ready to leap into action if called upon, but they haven't yet. 0-2 pitch high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And this is no doubt, out of 138 games played, the worst weather conditions the Pirates have had to experience
while playing.
While actually playing.
They haven't shut it down. That's it. All right.
There's the thunder.
That's enough.
1-2. And Alvarez strikes out. So Dunn comes in, strikes out the side, gives up a double to Walker. Neal continues his hitting streak. 14 straight games. Darryl Cousins telling the grounds crew, cover it up. Think about his act tonight.
What I liked, it showed 3 walks, but he only walked 1 batter, really. I like the basis of the control, and I like the fact that he's got 2, maybe 3 above average pitches. He's got 3 major league pitches. He's got an above average major league fastball, or at least average, 92, 93. He's got a real downer curveball and a good changeup. I mean, he's got the physical tools, and when he combines it with control, I mean, there's no doubt James McDonald can pitch in the big leagues, and he was terrific tonight. He got great support defensively, but I love the fact that he throws strikes. The 1 free pass. What do you have? I'm looking at his.
We had 3 walks, but 2 of them were intentional.
Yeah. So I don't even count those. So in his starts for the Pirates, he's had 1 start where he had 5 walks, and I consider that an aberration when it's just 1 out of now 7. And first game 1 walk, 2, then the 5, then 2, and tonight just 1 unintentional walk. I think it starts there, and he was just real good.
Joel Hanrahan warming up here, Steve, ready to start the top of the 9th, and while he completes his warm-up pitches, it's a good time to remind people that there are still some commemorative leaves available on the Bill Mazeroski statue. When they finally got the statue in place, they realized there was still some space, and you want to have your leaf up there. $150 for the smaller ones, $500 for the larger ones. First come, first serve on these. They have been selling. There are probably a few left, so you want to get on board. 1-877-MAZ-1960. 1-877-MAZ-1960. Both that Vittorio Zippo, Maz's barber, bought one.
I'll tell you what a great setting for that statue, and what a glorious day it was Sunday afternoon. It was just perfect. It was just perfect. See the fans hanging off the ledges of PNC Park that we could see from the cul-de-sac. It's just a wonderful setting. It was picture perfect. And Joel Hanrahan will come on to try to put a lid on this very impressive game that the Pittsburgh Pirates are playing tonight. Very impressive. When you go head-to-head with Tim Hudson, and you come out on the other side with a W, and it's not guaranteed yet, but we're darn near that, then you have played yourself a whale of a ball game. We talked earlier, Tim, about when you go against guys like that, you have to play mistake-free baseball, and maybe some mistake also, but mistake-free baseball. You need to do that. And you take a look at some of the high-profile pitchers that the Pirates have beaten this year. You know, Tim Hudson, he's got a terrific record. Roy Halladay, some of the other. I know there's 5 or 6 top-notch guys that the Pirates have beaten.
Joel Hanrahan called the crew over, wants a little extra help with the mound. Wasn't quite satisfied with the landing spot.
And you go back to the old adage, these guys, none of these guys that are here at the big league level are here by mistake. It's just a matter of who does it most often. So when you see a guy like James McDonald play this kind of game, pitch this kind of game, Brian Burris, they're capable of doing it. It's just a matter of who does it most often. The real good guys do it a lot. Tim Hudson does it a lot, but he ran into a guy that matched him on this particular night. They talk about any given Sunday. Well, any given day from April to October, you can get this kind of performance.
It can happen. Well, so Joel Hanrahan continuing his warm-ups, and this game will resume when he is ready to go. Well, we talked about the defense throughout the course of the telecast, and it was outstanding today. And Pedro getting it done.
That's the play I like probably as good as any that was made tonight. And then good technique there by kind of cupping your shoulders in and taking the ball off the body, knowing that you get the ball quickly when it's sharply hit. You're going to have time to recover and make a play. You're not going to have time every time, but Pedro did the right thing. He was in between hops, got the body in front of the ball, kept it in front. That gave him an opportunity to make the play.
Jose Tabata also with some nice plays, especially one on this one when runner tries to advance on a fly ball. Jason Hayward is out. Derek Lee, victim of a Jose takeaway. Jose's been putting it together, too. We also should mention that double play off the bat of Derek Lee started by Pedro Alvarez to end the 6th inning when the bases were loaded and 1 out.
Great job. It was right all on the shoulders of James McDonald, and he got the ground ball from Derek Lee. A little bit of anxiety as the throw from Pedro was high, but Neil Walker was able to convert it and get the double play.
Well, we're ready to go again. See, the grounds crew has fans too. They got to get a better sign. It's ripping.
But that's all right. It's a gesture. It's the thought.
It's the thought that counts.
Isn't it appropriate that the grounds crew sign is underwater?
43-minute rain delay, and Hanrahan deals a strike to Martin Prado. Prado is 1 for 3. And there's that slider for a strike. 7-7 now. Philadelphia and Florida tied in the bottom of the 8th in Philly.
Plot thickens.
0-2. And Prado strikes out. We'll take a look at the road ahead, brought to you by your Western Pennsylvania Toyota dealers. Toyota moving forward, and we're looking forward. Tomorrow will be Derek Lowe and Zach Duke. Then a travel day Thursday. The weekend in Cincinnati, 4 in the Apple with the Mets. And back home for the final homestand of 2010. Arizona, St. Louis, Houston. Went out to St. Louis and Florida to wrap up the season.
96 miles an hour. So Joel Hanrahan getting it loose.
Nothing in 1. And McCann fouls it back. 0-2 the count. 96 on the gun for Joel Hanrahan. Hanrahan has the luxury of pitching with no rain in the dry baseball. Mike Dunn of Atlanta didn't have that when pitching to the Pirates in the bottom of the 8th, but he still struck out the side. 1-2 to McCann.
Tried to tempt Brian upstairs. Let's see if they try that back foot slider. Right-hand pitcher can just bury that slider down and in. So far down and in, it goes toward the batter's back foot. You want something inside. There it is right there. Again, no sale, but it's a thought that counts.
Problems with the footing, maybe?
It's sticky, even though you put the diamond dust or whatever they call it on there.
That's into the camera well. Watch out down there as the ball pinballs around off the railing. 2-2 the count to Brian McCann. McCann 0 for 2. An intentional walk.
Still want to stay inside.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Pirates a 5-0 lead, top of the 9th inning.
Phillies have regained the lead, 8-7 now in the bottom of the 8th.
McCann, a 1-out walk. The runner is aboard for Atlanta here in the 9th.
Back and forth game in Philadelphia for sure.
Placido Polanco singling in Shane Victorino with the go-ahead run. Derek Lee, the hitter. He will take ball 1. Well, Lee's been involved in a couple of the key plays. In the 5th inning, hit a hot shot that looked like it was headed for the left center field gap, but Jose Tabata cut it off, and then hit into the around the horn inning-ending double play with 1 out. The bases loaded in the 6th.
You can do that again. That's okay.
Twin kill to end it would be nice. Lee at 249. He has 16 homers on the season, 63 runs batted in. And there is strike 2, 1 and 2.
A slider that a little upstairs, but Derek Lee did not take a whack at it.
Melky Cabrera out on deck for the Braves. The 1-2. Strike 3 call. stood him up.
And boy, you just don't see Derek Lee when he's on his game taking two sliders that are vulnerable, that are up in the zone. Those kind of sliders right there can get hit a long way.
He did leave it up. Well, it was good for strike 3. And now the Braves down to their final out. Pirates trying to put the finishing touches on this one. No tomahawk chop for you tonight. James McDonald, very good tonight. And I know you like his curveball a lot.
I do. A lot to like tonight from James.
Two and one now to Melky Cabrera.
Okay, Joe, let's just go to the whip right here.
And this one fouled back. And now the Braves down to their final strike. And Hanrahan trying to record it here on Melky Cabrera, the switch hitting left fielder. McCann, runner at first base, and he'll be completely ignored. The run doesn't mean a thing. This pitch does. 2-2. Here it is. And Cabrera fouls it down the left field side and out of play. 97 that time. Two-ball, two-strike pitch coming from Joel Hanrahan. Fouled back. The interesting part of the schedule, Steve, with this National League East race, the Braves have 6 more games with the Phillies, including the final 3 against one another.
And that's at home. We're there.
So Atlanta.
The first 3 set in Philadelphia. Not too far away, but yeah, they finish up at Turner Field.
That's just good scheduling.
Somebody.
2-2. Swing and a strike 3. Joel Hanrahan finishes up for J-Mac.
Wow. What a neat ball game played by the Pittsburgh Pirates. They got the pitching, they got the defense, and when they broke it open in the 7th inning, they just didn't hit any bloopers. There weren't any flares. They tattooed the baseball, highlighted by Delwyn Young reaching the second deck in left field. Really well packaged, well presented baseball game for the Bucks. A lot of good aspects.
Outstanding work tonight by the Pirates, and they now have beaten the Braves in back-to-back games, have taken this series, and will go for a sweep tomorrow night.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Currently in first place in the East, Atlanta Braves. That'll do it for our game coverage. Our next broadcast of Pirates baseball and FSN Pittsburgh tomorrow night for the homestand and series finale with Bobby Cox and the Braves. Derek Lowe will pitch against Pirate left-hander Zach Duke. Our coverage begins with the Trip Total Media Pirates pregame show beginning at 6:30. Then Bob Walk joins me for the call at 7. Again, our final score. The Pirates shut out the Braves tonight 5-0. For Steve Blass and our entire crew, I'm Tim Everett. Stay tuned. The AGH Sports Medicine Pirates postgame comes up right after the break. Big shutout win for the Pirates tonight.